Hi, it's Dan from Quizmaster Sports, and today we're sharing ideas that you can use in your active maths lessons. Some children will happily work at their desk for the duration of the lesson, but most won't. The reality is children are geared to get up, move around and be active. These games will help them to do that and stay focused on your maths outcome. We're going to kick things off with hot potato. So you're going to pair it with a partner, get a spare piece of paper, give it a good old scrunch up, and then you're going to throw it to them for them to catch. If you're working on your 3 times table, you're going to count up in 3s for each catch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 and so on. You might even challenge them further and start at 36 and get them to count backwards in 3s. This will help consolidate their learning further. In Quizmaster, you're going to get into groups of 3 and nominate 2 participants and 1 Quizmaster. The Quizmaster is going to ask a question, and the first person to shout out the correct answer is the winner, and they score a point. Once you get to 3 points, change over the Quizmaster so that everyone gets a turn, and make sure that the Quizmaster is asking questions that is linked to your learning outcome. Group children in terms of ability and watch their excitement for mental arithmetic go through the roof. In the game Random Numbers, you're going to laminate some numbers and some functions. Make sure you've got lots of them and put them all out across your desk. Now the children are going to work in pairs. They're going to come up to the desk and they're going to select 3 numbers and 2 functions to take back to their desk. Once everybody's done that, you're going to call out an answer. So your answer might be 17. The children then have 30 seconds to work together to try and use the numbers and the functions to get either the answer or as close to the answer as they can. This is great for teamwork, and children get a real rush if they're the first ones to be able to work together and solve the problem dead on. In the game of Uno, you're going to get into your table groups and select one leader who's going to start with a deck of cards. Now one at a time, they're going to turn the card over and then present it to the group. So they'll be presented with a colour and a number. Now the colour denotes the action that they have to take. So a red colour might be jump, yellow might be squat, blue might be spin around, and green might be to hold a balance. Make sure that with the numbers you're linking them into your outcome. For example, if you're working on the 5 times table and 6 is shown, 6 would be the number that you then times by 5. So the first person to green, hold the balance, and shout out 30 would then score the point. In the game of Countdown, children are going to start with a whiteboard and they have 30 seconds to use the numbers and try and reach the target answer, just like in the TV show. Now they must show they're working out, because we know what they're like. In the beginning, you're going to pick the numbers and the target answer, and eventually as time goes on, we can let children pick the numbers once they get used to the structure. Make sure you play the theme tune in the background to crank up the excitement, and as always, link it to your learning outcome. The game of Lightning is immensely popular. Now children are going to pair up and then face off against each other. In this game, the action that they need to fulfill is a jump when they hear a multiple of 3, if you're working on the 3 times table. So they're going to face up against each other. 17, nothing happens. 22, nothing happens. 9, the first person to jump up scores the point because 9 is a multiple of 3. Make sure you mix up the actions as well. This could be anything from a jump, a twist and a squat, right through to a mini dance-off. Table groups are perfect for Fizzbuzz. So children are going to go around and count the next number in the sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and so on. Now if you're working on the 4 times table, instead of saying 4 or the multiple of 4, you're going to say the word fizz. So as you can see in this example, 1, 2, 3 fizz, 5, 6, 7 fizz and so on. Now you can make the game even more difficult by saying the word Fizzbuzz instead of just fizz. This means that you carry on playing the game, but the momentum shifts back the other way. This is great for learning times table very quickly and forces children to think and plan ahead. Rock, paper, scissors maths is probably the easiest one out of all of them, and kids love playing it. You're going to get with a partner, and instead of going rock, paper, scissors, shoot and showing rock, paper, scissors, you're going to show a digit, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. The first person to add up the total number of fingers on show is the winner. Now you can make this game twice as difficult by playing the game with 2 hands and adding up the total, or you can also throw in some times tables in there if that links with your outcome. It's a dead easy game and children love it. A partner and 2 dice is all you need for noughts and crosses. You're going to roll the dice and you have 10 seconds to correctly add up the two numbers. If you can't do it within 10 seconds or you give a wrong answer, you then forfeit your go and you can't put a nought or a cross down. It's your partner's turn to go. 3 in a row wins, and as always, make sure you tweak the focus to work on multiplication, subtraction, number bonds, whatever your focus may be. And finally we have Twister. Now you can either use the official board game or you can pop to the PE store cupboard and just get yourself half a dozen hoops. Either way, you're going to label up the circles, and as you can see here, we've got our 5 times table set up. You're going to have 2 participants and 1 leader, so 3 people per group. 2 participants are going to play while the leader asks the questions. So for example, 6 times 5. So the first participant, 6 times 5, is going to put their hand on the 30. They're then going to pose a question to the next person, who's then going to put their hand on the corresponding circle, and you're going to keep playing until either somebody gets the wrong answer or they can't keep their balance anymore. With sensible groups, you can play up to 4 people at a time, and you might have multiple games going on as well. It's really good for improving their flexibility and coordination, at the same time sharpening their mathematical capabilities. Thanks very much, I hope that this has been helpful, and as always, make sure you leave your suggestions and experiences in the comment box, and make sure to like and subscribe because that helps the video go that much further. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next one.